welcome back to another episode of It's Always Sunny in Hong Kong, where today, years of British rule finally come to an end. I am your host, Lugia, and with me are... Did it crap out again?
No, no one just answered.
No,
Jesus
I was waiting for Red to say something.
Yeah, I mean, I usually go like third, don't I? Okay, whatever. Yeah,
I don't there is no consistency. I don't know.
yeah, it's always just a big game of chicken every episode.
Hi, my name is Patty. How you doing?
I'm Red, and I serve the People's Republic of China. Xi Shao, Xing Shou, Bing Chilling, Bing, Bing Chilling. I don't know what the, I can't remember what the rest of that fucking John Cena shit was.
I mean John Cena.
Xena Warrior Princess. Okay. Did you know Xena Warrior Princess was produced by Sam Raimi? That's
Was
crazy
it?
to me. Yeah. What are we talking about? Hong Kong 97?
Yeah, we don't have any news, do we?
No. Yeah, Hong Kong 97. 1944, directed by Albert Pyun. So why did you pick this movie, Lugia? Why don't we jump into that first?
You see, because it shares the same name as a very infamous Super Famicom video game that has absolutely nothing to do with the movie, and I thought it'd be really fucking funny if we talked about the material that no one remembers and no one talks about. And there's a good fucking reason for that. Oh, let me tell you.
You know what's pretty funny about this movie thing though is so everyone every time they hear about this movie they're like, "Oh, weird coincidence has the same name as that game." But like no, 1997 is like just like a pretty historically important year for Hong Kong, which is why all that stuff got named because everyone was like, "Oh, this shit's gonna happen soon." It's kind of like the Y2K thing where everyone's like, "During this year, shit's gonna happen. We know it's gonna happen. We're just kind of waiting for it." So basically, what happened is Hong Kong used to be like a British territory. It used to be sort of a British colony or whatever. This is a complicated history. Let me restart that. Okay, so Hong Kong was established as a British colony in the Qing Dynasty in 1841, and then the colony expanded, and further expanded when the United Kingdom obtained a 99-year lease of the Hong Kong territories in 1898. So 1898, it was established that Britain would basically have control over Hong Kong for the next 99 years. And I don't know how good you guys are at math. 1898 plus 99 is 1997. So yeah, basically what happened is the lease ended up Britain's lease for Hong Kong ended, and they're like, well, okay, we have to, we're no longer renting, we have to give it back to China. So that's basically what 97 was about, and there was some kind of contentions because Hong Kong was basically like its own like kind of independent thing, ever since World War II. Like it was briefly occupied by Japan in World War II, but after that, everyone just left it alone. So it was just its own country pretty much till 97. It didn't have any of the restrictions that China had and stuff. So people were kind of like, iffy a little bit. It was like, ooh, what's going to happen? From what I understand, Hong Kong pretty much retained a lot of its privileges that mainland China doesn't. So like, I think I mentioned this in our very first episode, The Departed. Remember that?
That was the second episode, actually.
Second episode. Well, it was the right. Yeah, I was the one that recommended that for some reason, even though I don't like that movie. But yeah, I mentioned how in Infernal Affairs, the Hong Kong movie that Departed is a remake of. The original one had obviously had like the villain to get away with it. When it was released in mainland China, they censored it so it wouldn't be, and that's kind of illustrates how it's sort of like one country, two systems sort of thing, where Hong Kong is kind of given privileges that mainland China isn't, and like China somewhat reaps the benefits of that because like Hong Kong is sort of like the cultural kind of hub of China. Like almost every time people think of like Chinese movies, they're thinking of Hong Kong because like Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, all that stuff is Hong Kong. In fact, Bruce Lee kind of didn't actually consider himself Chinese. He considered himself, from Hong Kong. Hong Kong is a very interesting country with a very interesting history. We've talked about him quite a few times. I'm sure you have stuff to say, Lugia. Sorry for this random history lesson.
No, actually, I'm really glad that you told us that because Hong Kong 97 in of itself is a very mysterious thing. I don't know if we want to just talk about the movie first and then talk about the game, because there is actually quite a bit to say about the game.
Let's go to the game
Uh,
first, just because I think we're all familiar with the game
Okay.
a little bit.
2 out of 3 of you are. I have never played or experienced Hong Kong '97 in any
Oh,
capacity.
really?
I don't
I know
even
you
know what
haven't
genre
played
it
it.
is.
I thought you would have
That's
at least
crazy.
heard of it.
I've heard of
Feel
it.
like
I don't know any it's like
didn't you use?
Borderlands. I know what it is. I just don't know anything beyond the title.
I mean, I figured you would have watched like the AVGN video on it, or did JonTron make a video? One of those guys made a
No.
video.
No, I know Hong Kong '97, the video game, by name only. That's it.
Huh. But yeah, I know. I think me and Lugia, we both know about it because the angry video game nerd, right?
I learned about it from Flippy first and then AVGN.
I Googled Hong Kong '97, and one of the first results is Hong Kong '97, but the dead guy is Mike Matei. Okay.
What?
I don't know. Yeah, I knew about him because of the angry video game nerd. I'm also like 90% certain that JonTron or some normal boots guy talked about him, but I'm not 100% sure.
I know JonTron never did.
Some guy some other YouTuber I followed did. I don't know. I haven't watched like a gaming reviewer in like fucking forever, so one of them did. I don't know. Anyway, why don't you explain to Patrick what the game is?
So as I said before, Hong Kong '97 is an unlicensed Super Famicom game. It was created by Happysoft, which I don't know anything about, but the fact that it is unlicensed, and I've shown you some screenshots of the title screen, you should kind of get an idea of like what you're into with Jackie Chan and I think his name is Tong Xiaoping. So the game is kind of like a shoot 'em up. Like, I guess you could say it's kind of like Toho, but not really. The point is to kill 1.2 billion communists, aka literally the entire population of China, while you play as Jackie Chan's relative Chin. How this game came to be is a mystery in of itself. I think it was made just as a prank. But what's weird about the game, though, is that one of the guys on the cover, I think he was like a leader of China, Tong Xiaoping, he died in '97, but this game came out in 1995, so it kind of predicted his death in a weird way.
So
you-
the movie came before the game.
Yes, but it has
Huh.
nothing to do with the movie.
No, I figured that, but I don't know. I this whole time I thought the game was first.
Oh wait, did I
Eh?
say Jackie Chan's? No, it's Bruce Lee's relative, but they use an image of Jackie Chan. That is in the intro. There is an intro cutscene that explains everything, and it's fucking bizarre. And there's also a song, a snippet from a song that's like a 5-second loop, and it's the only thing that plays.
The game also has a bunch of random quotes. My favorite is a bunch of fucking ugly reds from the mainland, which is like
How long is this game?
pretty racist, but you know.
The
No,
game,
no,
I
how
don't know.
long is it?
it's
pretty
like
sure.
10 minutes long. Not even. Could be like 3 minutes.
What system is this for?
Super Nintendo, or rather Super Famicom, because it was never released outside of Japan.
Wait, what genre was it again?
It's a shoot 'em up.
So it's
Like Galaga or some shit like that.
So it's a Japanese exclusive 3-minute long shoot 'em up with Bruce Lee's relative.
Yes.
And nobody knows
Exclusive
why it
seems
exists.
generous because I'm pretty sure it's a bootleg. Like I don't think this is like I don't think any like actual company.
No,
don't think this is,
Nintendo
like,
would
got
not
any
have given
official
this the seal of
endorsements.
quality. Not in a long
Yeah.
shot.
I don't think this got any like endorsement. I think this is. Odds are some kid in high school probably just dicked around and made it, and it somehow got famous. And that kid is probably like just some office worker, and he's like, man,
I don't think that's
America
actually the
really likes
case.
this. I don't know.
I think it was actually
knows?
made by like an insane guy who just like does a bunch of pranks.
Just some random guy.
All right, but enough about the game. Let's talk about Hong Kong '97, the movie. So this was directed by Albert Pune. I'm still not sure how you pronounce that last name.
Albert Pyun.
This movie had a budget of $500,000. I don't know how much it made because there are no records of its box office sales. Probably imagine wasn't a whole lot though. Just call it a hunch.
It was direct to video, so I feel like it
Yeah.
probably turned a
So
profit. I mean, $500,000 is incredibly low budget, even for the time. So I really don't think they need to worry about turning a profit. It's probably a bunch of like college kids or whatever just like rented this shit for cheap from Blockbuster or whatever, and they probably made a decent turn of investment on that. I don't know.
I don't really have too many fun facts, but I do have one. Obviously, most of the film is shot in Hong Kong. Like, it would be kind of ridiculous if it wasn't, even though it's called fucking Hong Kong 97. But a couple of scenes were actually shot in the Philippines. This is because during production, Albert Pune was prepping up his next movie, Heat Seeker, which was also being filmed simultaneously with another movie he was working on called Spitfire, and those were being shot in the Philippines. In addition, in the beginning of the movie, the car that some of the characters drive is a Mercedes-Benz E-Class. However, when they shot in the Philippines, they switched the car out for a C-Class instead. So I don't know if you ever noticed that inconsistency.
I didn't.
I mean,
I did
we're,
not.
Because
we're not car
here's
guys, but
I'm a little bit. I just didn't think about. It's not like I got the best quality. Like I couldn't like see the details. But yeah. Anyway, here's my question: how do they get so many famous people? These actors, I'm not gonna say they're like household names, but the actors in this movie are people that like people know. Like I got Robert Patrick after Terminator 2. It got Ming-Na Wen after the Joy Luck Club. You know, before Mulan, but after the Joy Luck Club. It got Brian James, who was in like he was in fucking like Blade Runner in 48 Hours, like Tango and Cash, The Red Heat. He was in a lot of fucking movies. What the hell?
that I don't know. I wish I had an answer for that. Maybe they just had some high-end bills to pay.
I am bills to play from like a $500,000 movie. Like, all right.
Well, you take what you can get, I guess.
Maybe they thought it'd be funny. I don't know.
Like I remember like when the fucking like what's the character's name? When Katie Chun like was talking, I was like, this lady sounds so familiar. Then I Googled it. I was like, what do you mean she's Mulan? Come on. What do you mean this movie stars fucking the Terminator and Mulan? That's crazy. Oh wait, she was in that Street Fighter movie we watched.
Wait, she was in the
It came out.
live-action Street Fighter movie?
Yeah, Chun-Li.
Oh my god.
Same year as this came out.
That's crazy. I didn't even connect the dots. Holy shit. Alright, but in all
Okay.
seriousness, what is Hong Kong 97 about? Well, obviously the year is 1997. It would be a fucking lie if they didn't have the year be the same thing as the fucking title. British rule over Hong Kong is coming to an end. However, our main character, whose name is Reginald, is hired to kill any up-and-coming potential leaders of China who are going to take over Hong Kong. He kills a guy named, I think, Wu? I don't remember, but afterwards, he is attacked by a bunch of mercenaries, but saved just in the nick of time by his protege, Li. Now, why he was attacked is a mystery, because usually Reginald does not leave a trail behind. However, someone's probably ratted him out. And they did. His name is Malcolm. I know I'm skipping ahead here, but this is literally like all the substance there is. I'm not even gonna fucking dance around. This was the biggest nothing burger of a movie I've ever seen.
Here's the thing with the movie is I actually like this movie's vibe. I really like the
The
environments they
atmosphere
shot
is
in.
nice.
I really like the environments they shot in. They gave it nice colors, general presentation. Really, basically, anytime like it's got a really cool like soundtrack, moody feeling. You know, the colors of the sets are really nice. Just the general environments are pretty nice. Even some of the shootouts had like they've had like a low budget John Woo grade.
It was more competently made than I was
most
expecting.
nothing's-
So yeah.
Yeah, it was like we saw it in VHS quality, but like I imagine like if you saw like an actual film, like it would have looked like a nice fucking film. It's a decently well directed, nothing plot, bad acting, characters are flat. Like it's got everything like here is maybe it's like, man, the people who made this are really talented, but they had nothing to work with. It's got a lot of heart, but there's just nothing in between. I'm gonna say of the B movies we've watched, it is probably like objectively the best made one, but there is just nothing to
This
this
is the
movie.
one
It is
I wouldn't even want to see this in comparison to like everything else we've seen B movie wise. Like to bring up
It's
like
well
Samurai
made.
Cop as like a comparison, That movie isn't really like as competently made from a filmmaking standpoint, but it is so much more entertaining and hilarious that you'd actually want to come back to it every now and then. There's
This movie has
nothing
like a
here.
yeah, this movie just has like a very nice vibe, and I feel like this feels like a movie that like a Tarantino type director would watch and be like, "This is a cool vibe. I'm gonna copy this vibe, but like apply it to like a better story." And quite frankly, there are a lot of Hong Kong movies that have vibes like this. Maybe not as like moody, but like it's got like a very like moody '80s vibe. I know it was made in the '90s, but this feels like very like there are a lot of like Hong Kong movies from the '80s that have a vibe kind of like this. Even like some American movies, like it kind of has like a Blade Runner thing with like a very like atmospheric soundtrack thing. But it's like so it's like it is like almost good. It just does not have a good script. It's well, it's like it's so weird. Like it's like the first time we've ever watched a movie that's like it's generally kind of well directed. And like I'm kind of curious about watching his other movies now because like people tell me Cyborg and Nemesis are actually like pretty fun. It's like I'm kind of I feel I'm gonna watch those movies one day.
The only other movie
Just
I've seen from him is Mean Guns, and it's not really a good movie, but it is a lot more entertaining. Or at least if
yeah,
memory
but
serves, I remember liking it more.
like I actually talked to some of my friends about this, and Nemesis has like an actual like cult following, and so does Cyborg a bit. So I'm kind of curious about those, like the John Claude Van Damme movies he made. I imagine they had like a bigger budget too. So yeah, I'm this movie has gotten me curious to check out his other work, but this movie I wouldn't really recommend it. Like unless you're just like, here's a situation I'd recommend watching this movie: get a bunch of chips, just get a bunch of marijuana, get high as shit, and just like have this running on the TV. That would probably be a good time because it's got a nice like atmosphere and vibe, and you don't need to think. This movie has B movie charm to me, but it's just like vibes and atmosphere. That's like all it is. Is vibes, atmosphere, sometimes a shootout,
There's
but like
boobs in the beginning. There's that.
there's some tits, yeah. But like any of the things that you would actually like most people would watch a movie for isn't there. It's got like here's a description I'm gonna use. Stephen King once when describing why he doesn't like The Shining, he said it's like a well-made Cadillac, but with no engine. I think he's fucking insane for saying that, but I think that applies to this movie. Because it's like a nice looking, it's got a nice looking shell, but it's completely hollow inside. I don't know if like I don't want to say it's like I don't I don't want to say it's bad or anything, but like it's like if you follow me on Letterboxd, I did not give this movie a star rating because I don't I don't know. I just marked it as watched. I was like, oh,
It is the movie
um,
of all time.
yes, it was a
Look
movie.
out, Morbius.
This this is probably a movie that would be fun to watch if you were on substances in college. This is like the movie that like the characters and all those like stoner hangout comedies would watch.
Unlike you guys, I didn't have any preconceived notions about this movie or its connection to the video game Hong Kong 97, so I'm just like, okay, what are we getting into? And like I said, it was more competently made than I was expecting, so like that was a nice surprise. But yeah, there's really not much here. Like I'm struggling to even say anything. Like there's nothing outright awful or even really bad about it. But like nothing stuck out to me in any way either, like as being good. I don't even know what to say.
To like give this movie credit, like all it did is get me curious on the director, and it's really funny when I looked up to the director and I found out this is a dude who actually has a cult following. This guy has movies that people like, but it's none of these. On Letterboxd, this is like the 31st most well-known movie he made. It's just like kind of funny to me that we pulled like this random piece of shit from the middle of his catalog when this guy actually has like a couple movies that have actual like followings and they predate this. So I guess that's why like this is well directed because like he clearly already made good movies before. Maybe one day we'll talk about Cyborg or Nemesis because those two seem to be his most beloved movies. To the people listening to this, I would maybe recommend checking out his other stuff just because I do think this guy has talent, but I don't think this is the most entertaining
I forget if he was the
movie.
screenwriter for this one. Let me look. No, it was not written by him. It was written by someone named Randall Fontana.
Let's see, what did Randall Fontana make? He's made this is actually his most high profile movie. So Randall Fontana is a complete nobody.
It is kind of sad though, because like you said before, like the directing and like the atmosphere is like really good for the time. It's just that the script itself kind of leaves a lot to be
I mean,
desired. So
I don't
that,
feel too bad for him just because again, this guy does actually have a pretty solid career. So
but like it
like
almost
I'm
feels
sure
like he was kind of
he's
robbed
fine.
of this one though. Like, and he did his best to salvage it.
Part of me thinks that one day we might talk about this guy again because I'm definitely gonna check out some other stuff he's made. I've already seen his Captain America movie, which was much worse than this. Honestly, like
Really?
it's worse made. It's probably like more entertaining to watch because it's like really fucking stupid. But like it's definitely worse directed. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
see, but see, I'd rather watch that because at least I feel something. Here, I'm just like it exists, and that's
Yeah.
about it. And
Patty,
there's
is
nothing
this worse than
awful about it.
Silent Hill Revelations to you?
Fuck no. What the fuck? No. Fuck no. It's fuck no. Oh fuck. Sorry, I know I'm saying that a lot. Fuck no. Silent Hill Revelations is that was actively painful. This just passes right through me.
I mean, I remember stuff about Silent Hill, so I guess there's that. But I don't know. I don't care.
I don't know. It's like, would you rather like eat a food that just goes right through you, or would you rather eat food that gives you like severe constipation? You have to like really like work to get that shit out. Not my best metaphor. Looking through this guy's filmography, this dude has an insane schedule. He makes multiple movies a year.
Again, he was filming this simultaneously with a couple other movies. Like when he went to the Philippines, he was doing two other movies.
Like, I'm looking at his stuff. In 1991, he made 3 movies. 1992, he made a movie. 1993, he made 3 movies. 1994, he made 2 movies. So he Spitfire. He also did like 3 in 95. So like this dude makes like at least 1 movie a year, sometimes 3. Like it's kind of crazy. Is that Ice T?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in Mean Guns.
I'm looking. That's not even the one I'm looking at. It's Corrupt. Like he's in a. Okay, I guess he's worked with Ice T a couple times. Rob Lowe, yeah, a few times actually. Burt Reynolds, damn. Okay, Albert Pion. It's kind of funny. Like this dude makes like a bunch of random like B movies, but like he keeps on managing to get like actual celebrities in his shit. So I don't know. It's kind of funny. You guys have anything else to say?
Not really. I think we've said everything that we really could. I mean, we could talk about the characters, but like we don't fucking care about them. Did you feel
I
anything when Jacker Lee died in the movie?
I forgot who that was. I'll be honest.
Exactly.
What about the girl in the white dress who
Chad
appeared for about
Stahelski.
what?
What do you mean Chad Stahelski was in this movie? I'm sorry. I'm looking
As
at
a
the cast list again, and I noticed a celebrity that I did not mention. Chad Stahelski is in this movie. He played Leon. Do you know who that guy is? Chad Stahelski. He's the director of the John Wick franchise. The guy who directed all 4 John Wick movies and is also Keanu Reeves' stunt double in like the Matrix movies and like Constantine and shit. He was in this. What the fuck?
Anyway, as I
That's
was asking, what
crazy.
about the girl? What about the woman in the white dress who appeared for a total of 10 seconds? 5 seconds at the beginning and 5 seconds at the end. I don't know why she's there or why the camera focused on her at the beginning and then at the end.
Because he killed her this time.
But what was the
It's probably
significance?
symbolic.
He's
No,
not
it's probably
Maybe,
slipping
but
symbolic.
up. I don't
maybe, but I
fucking
don't know.
know.
She doesn't have a single line of dialogue in this movie. She doesn't interact with the characters in any way. Yet
Uh,
she's highlighted twice.
let's see. One thing I thought was kind of funny is how this movie has really, really nice sets and environments, except like a couple random scenes where it's just like a shitty white room where they just like put a guy in front of it and asked him like to pick up the phone. I just thought it was kind of funny how like every other like scene in this movie like has a nice background except like just a handful. And it was like, huh,
So congratulations, Hong Kong 97, the movie will
what do you guys
exist.
have for us next time? It's your turn, Patty, I believe.
It should be.
Yes, it is. It is my turn. So this is a random one. This just kind of popped into my head because I really didn't know what to do this week. I've never seen this movie before. I haven't heard of it, and I don't know like what to make of what people think of this movie. Like it's a case where critics don't like it, but audiences are like, yeah, it's fine, I guess.
So it's like a
But it
reverse
does,
hair.
I guess. But it has, from what I understand, it has like a small cult following. I don't know. Maybe it'll be fun, but we're heading back into the realm of fantasy. More specifically, fairy tales. You guys like fairy tales, right?
It depends. I mean,
Yes.
Shrek's pretty good, but that's more of
What
like
if we-
poking fun at fairy tales.
And I like the original
What is-
stories that like Shrek was poking fun at. Those are fun. Yeah, I like fairy tales.
What would you say if we gave an R-rated spin to one of those fairy tales?
Those fairy tales
Because
are pretty fucked up. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah, but I mean like a 2010s edge with blood and stuff. Next movie is Hansel and
Is it-
Gretel Witch Hunters.
Oh,
Okay, I was gonna ask if it was if it was a Snow White and the Huntsman, but okay, Hansel and Gretel.
No.
That's
Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
I feel like I've heard
Yeah.
this.
we're on a B movie kick, aren't we? Okay, Jeremy Renner and Arterton.
This feels like it has the same energy as Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Maybe. I mean, it's a similar title. Yeah, for some reason, in the 2000s, the big trend was making fun of fairy tales. In the 2010s, it was like, yeah, let's make them badass. Of all of those edgy fairy tale remakes, the only one I've seen is Jack the Giant Slayer.
I've seen none of them. I've seen
And-
Alice in Wonderland. That's the one I
And
saw.
the only thing I remember about it is that one of the characters is named Roderick, and I'm like, huh, never heard that name anywhere else before. I don't know. I've been curious about this one because I don't know. It might be dumb fun.
2 B movies in a row. It was really funny is that I was gonna recommend a kind of shitty movie too. So for next week, so I guess we're gonna just a shit sandwich. Hell yeah.
Hey, we haven't seen this one yet. We don't know.
Yeah, we
Might
know.
end up liking it. All right, well, that's gonna do it for this episode of It's Always Sunny in Hollywood. Thank you for listening or watching or however you view these podcasts. And I don't have an outro. I don't have the energy to give an outro. This movie drained me. Have a good night. See ya.